Genesis chapter 31. Now Jacob heard the words of Laban's son, saying,
Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and from what was our father's, he has acquired all this wealth.
And Jacob saw that the attitude of Laban was not toward him as it had been. Then Yahweh said to Jacob,
Return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you.
So Jacob went and called Rachel and Leah to the field, to his flock, and said to them,
I see your father's attitude, that it is not toward me as it had been. But Yahweh, father of my father, has been with me. And you know that with all my strength I have served your father. Yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times. But Yahweh did not allow him to harm me. If he said, the speckled shall be your wages, then all the flocks bore speckled. And if he said, the streaked shall be your wages, then all the flocks bore streaked. So Yahweh has taken away the livestock of your father and has given them to me. Now as the sheep bred this breeding season, I lifted my eyes and saw in a dream that the rams which leaped upon the flocks were streaked, speckled, and gray-spotted. Then the Malach of Yahweh spoke to me in a dream, saying,
Jacob.
And I said, Here I am. And he said,
Lift your eyes now and look. All the rams which leap on the flocks are streaked, speckled, and gray-spotted. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am Yahweh, from Beth Yahweh, the house of Yahweh, where you anointed the pillar, and where you made a vow to me. Now arise, get out of the land, and return to the land of your kindred.
Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him,
Does there remain any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not considered strangers by him? For he has sold us, and has also completely consumed what was paid for us. All these riches which Yahweh has taken from our father are ours and our children's. Now then, whatever Yahweh has said to you, do it.
Then Jacob rose, and set his sons and his wives on camels. And he carried away all his livestock and all his possessions which he had gained, his acquired livestock which he had gained in Padan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel then stole the household gods, teraphim, that were her father's. Moreover, Jacob deceived Laban the Aramean by not telling him he was running away. So he fled with all that he had. He arose and crossed the river, and headed toward the hill country of Gilad. And Laban was told on the 3rd day that Jacob had fled. Then he took his relatives with him, and pursued him for 7 days' journey, and he overtook him in the hill country of Gilad. But Yahweh had come to Laban the Aramean in a dream by night, and said to him,
Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither blessings nor curses.
So Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent on the hill, and Laban, with his brethren, pitched in the hill country of Gilad. And Laban said to Jacob,
What have you done, that you have deceived me and carried away my daughters like captives taken with the sword? Why did you flee away secretly and steal away from me and deceive me? For I might have sent you away with joy and songs, with timbrel and harp. And you did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Now you have done foolishly in so doing. It is in my power to do you harm. But Yahweh the father of your father spoke to me last night, saying, Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither blessings nor curses. And now you have surely gone, because you greatly long for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods?
Then Jacob answered and said to Laban,
I was afraid, for I thought you would take your daughters from me by force. But with whomever you find your gods, Elohim, do not let him live. In the presence of our relatives, identify what I have of yours, and take it with you.
For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen the gods, Elohim. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, into Leah's tent, and into the 2 maidservants' tents. But he did not find his gods, Elohim. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the household gods, teraphim, put them in the camel's saddle, and sat on them. And Laban searched all about the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her father,
Let it not anger you, my father, that I cannot rise before you, for the manner of women is with me.
And he searched, but did not find the household gods, teraphim. Then Jacob was angry, and rebuked Laban. And Jacob said to Laban,
What is my crime, and what is my sin, that you have hunted after me? Although you have searched all my possessions, what part of your household things have you found? Set it here before my relatives, and also your relatives, and let them judge between the 2 of us. These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried their young, and I have not eaten the rams of your flock. That which was torn by wild beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss myself. Also you demanded payment from my hand, whether it was stolen by day or stolen by night. This was my situation. In the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost consumed me by night. and sleep departed from my eyes. It has been thus in your household the 20 years I have served you. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. Unless the heavenly Father of my fathers, Yahweh, the Father of my father Abraham, and the reverence of my father Isaac had been with me, you would surely have sent me away empty-handed. But Yahweh has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and he rebuked you last night.
And Laban answered and said to Jacob,
These women are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these flocks are my flocks. All that you see is mine. But what can I do this day about my daughters, or about their children whom they have borne? Now therefore, come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me.
So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. Then Jacob said to his brethren,
Gather stones.
And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there on the heap. Laban called it Yegar Sahadatha, in Aramaic, that is, heap of witness. But Jacob called it Galed, in Hebrew, that is, heap of witness. And Laban said,
This heap is a witness between you and me this day.
Therefore its name was called Galed, and also Mitzpah, that is, watch, because he said,
May Yahweh keep watch between you and me when we are absent from one another. If you afflict my daughters, or if you take wives other than my daughters, although no man is with us, remember that Yahweh is witness between you and me.
Then Laban said to Jacob,
Here is this heap, and here is this pillar, which I have placed between you and me. This heap is a witness, and this pillar is a witness, that I will not pass beyond this heap to you, and you will not pass beyond this heap and this pillar to me for harm. Yahweh Almighty of Abraham and Nahor, the heavenly father of their father, judge between us.
And Jacob vowed by the reverence of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice there on the hill, and called his brothers to eat bread. And they ate bread, and stayed all night on the hill. And early in the morning Laban arose, and kissed his sons and daughters, and blessed them. Then Laban departed from there, and returned to his home.